Hello, everyone. Today, as you may guess, we have another unique guest with us with a unique topic, and this is healthy food and healthy lifestyle. Today with us is Lynora Bayless from Las Vegas. Lynora is a graduate of University of Nevada, Las Vegas, a diet and lifestyle intervention counselor, author of Devoted Bodies, a certified wellness coach and health educator, business and spiritual mentor and teacher, and a nationally known speaker. Can you share some tips, your top tips to improve your health?
Yeah, and I tell you what, there are two things that I will tell you will make a huge difference in your health if you start doing them. And there are two eliminations that I would put at the top of my list. Okay, so the first thing right here, my buddy, water.
Oh, wow.
The number one health habit that you can make that ties to so many things. The body has so many ways of telling you, I need hydration. And it isn't, I can drink coffee instead. It is water, because water delivers every nutrient that you eat to your cells and rinses out all the toxins away from your cells. It helps you feel full at the appropriate time. People suffer from all kinds of things relating to not drinking enough water, headaches. If you have to put on excessive amounts of lotion on your skin, it's because you're not consuming enough water, because it is the cheapest lotion on the planet. So that's one thing there's no avoiding. If you're going to improve your health, you must drink water. So let's say you don't like water. What I encourage people to do is start where they are. Let's say you love coffee or you like soda. Drink half of the water that you should in a day, and then reward yourself with one of those things, because here's what I know will happen. Your body will begin to prefer water. It won't keep asking for the other thing. It will prefer water. So how much water should you drink? And I don't know, this is going to be different because we have fluid ounces and ounces of weight. So it ties together. You'll have to figure out if this would work. Maybe you could figure out the formula, because in our measurements, if you weigh 150 pounds, for example, you would divide that in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should drink. So a 150-pound person needs at least 75 ounces of water. Okay. So it just makes sense. However the formula would work with kilos and milliliters, I'm not sure. I can figure that out maybe and get back to you, but, and liters is what I meant to say. But however that works, it's a relationship, because a 200-pound man is going to need more water than a child, right? And so that's the best way to do it. Half your body weight in ounces, and however that converts to milliliters. Okay, so that's number one. If you did nothing else, water would make a huge difference. The next thing would be eating more fruits and vegetables. Starting where you are, if you only like a handful of things, eat those consistently. And every week, buy something new that's green, something new that's orange, something new that's red. Look for the colors. You're looking for the wide variety and sufficient quantity of fruits and vegetables, because these are the foods that reduce inflammation in every part of the body, that encourage healing, that really allow the body to rest, because the digestion that's required of the body is minimal. So these are not just nutrient dense foods bringing you something, but they're the least taxing on the body. So what it is fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables, or raw vegetables are like 100 calories a pound, right? It goes up from there. 300 calories a pound are steamed vegetables and fruit. The next one is grains, legumes, potatoes, the starchy things. They're 500 calories a pound. So everything that God made, with the exception of seeds and avocados, is 500 calories a pound or less. Okay. Everything beyond that. So the stuff that we make out of grains, like you take it from oatmeal to oat bread, Now, instead of 500 calories a pound, because there's lots of water and everything in it, you go to 1,250 calories a pound. Okay. And you're not going to eat a whole pound of bread. I realize that, but still you increase the caloric density tremendously when you process a food.
Yeah,
okay.
It is a huge difference.
Yeah. And then meat and cheese are like 2,500 calories a pound. And the ultimate is oil, which is 4,000 calories a pound. And so when you're thinking, the reason why I brought this up, whether you show that or not, because I know the whole pound, kilogram, all of that stuff probably gets confusing. But when you look at the nutrient density, so we just talked about caloric density, where it goes from low to high to oil. Okay. From vegetables to oil goes from very low to high. Nutrient density is the mirror image of that. The most nutrients are in the plant foods that have the lowest calories, and it goes down like this with nutrient density down to oil, which has no nutrient. I mean, it has really no nutrition. It is, people think that there's healthy oil. It's like, no, the healthy thing would be the avocado, the seed, the grain that it came from. But when you take out and you just isolate the oil, now you're getting, you're missing the protein, you're missing the fiber, you're missing everything else from that plant that made it valuable. So, yeah, I
only because it's processed, because it's industrially processed, it loses all the nutritional value and gains in calories.
Well, you can't have oil. It can't be clear if you have all the fiber and the protein and everything present. So if to make oil, you have to strip everything else away. And now you just have concentrated fat. So there isn't a huge value to oil, no matter what kind. I always say, whether it's coconut oil, canola oil, olive oil, or motor oil, it's 4,000 calories a pound. Okay. So there's nothing that you want to be eating a lot of that has that kind of caloric density with no nutrition. Okay. So back to the things that I was talking about, the fruit and vegetable. The reason why I mentioned that was because on that chart, it shows they're the lowest calories, but they're the highest nutrients. That's all I wanted to say about that. So the rest of that was for you, because I know you're seeking nutrition for yourself. So my two recommendations would be water and eating more fruits and vegetables. Those are the most significant things you can do for your health. Now, I talked about 2 eliminations. If I had to narrow it down to 2 things that in 30 years of giving nutrition counseling, it has come to, the most important things to eliminate are simple sugars. You know, sorry, but the cookies, the candies, all of that stuff, it's a treat. It's not something you should be eating every day. And if you are, it creates a burden on your body like nothing else. Just 1 can of soda can shut down your immune system for 6 to 9 hours. Okay.
No way.
So, yes. I mean, it's totally working. It has completely stopped doing what it's supposed to be doing and working on handling the onslaught of sugar. Okay. So
onslaught of sugar. That actually sounds the way, it sounds really frightening, the way it should. Actually, it is frightening.
So making fruit your treat of choice, and then doing the other things for special occasions, having the cake on a birthday, you know, whatever the festivities are, but by occasional, I don't even mean every week, just, you know, once in a while. If you could do that, your health would improve in a lot of ways. The other elimination that I would encourage every human to consider is getting dairy out of your diet. And the reason I say that, because people say, well, I'm not lactose intolerant. Yes, you actually are. It just manifests in different ways. For some people, it ends up being autoimmune diseases. For some people, and because what it contributes to in all humans is a leaky gut. And you can do some homework on where leaky gut can take you. All the itises are related to leaky gut. Allergies, asthma, all those things are related to leaky gut. All the autoimmune diseases are related to leaky gut. So what are the things most likely to cause leaky gut? Yeah, dairy is a huge one. And so even if you don't have any discomfort from eating cheese or drinking milk or eating ice cream and yogurt and all those things, it takes a toll on everybody. Now, why do I say that? If we were going to drink milk that was closer to humans, first of all, we're the only mammal that continues to drink milk after we're weaned. Okay. No other animal does that. So, but if we were going to take a mammal that was similar to us, it would be like a sheep or goat that goes from a birth weight of, under 10 pounds to an adult weight of 100 or more pounds, not a cow that is born 40 to 60 pounds and goes to 2,000 pounds in 2 years. I was like, no, there's the protein fat combination in cow's milk is not designed for humans. So trust me on this. You can do lots of homework. You can find other people that say other things, but it is so well proven that if you have itises and you have a love affair with dairy, yeah, you're going to want to work on that. So those are the two things. The other question I get asked, and I'll just comment on that, is, okay, do you eat meat? I don't personally, but I will tell you that our journey to eat a plant-based diet was out of necessity. When everybody in your family has strokes, whatever it takes, if it took sipping out of a straw, I would eat that way because I don't want that. It doesn't kill you, it just maims you. But but if you are going to eat animal foods in a healthful way, because instead of doing it 3 times a day, eggs for breakfast, grilled cheese for lunch, chicken breast for dinner, we would do it 3 times a week. Okay, so it would be maybe a steak one night, fish another night, lamb another night. Doesn't really matter which one, because they all have similar amounts of fat, and they all have the same type of effect as far as causing inflammation and things. But you could do that and never undermine your health in any way. And where that leaves you is, what would I eat the rest of the time? And that's the journey to figure out. And one of the things that I really approach in my book, okay, what would you eat instead? And, for us, breakfast is oatmeal with cut up walnuts, some unsweetened coconut, a few raisins, apples, bananas, mango, blueberries, whatever we got, we just throw it in the bowl. We don't have to add sugar, add some plant milk, very filling meal. So the journey is finding, because most of us eat the same meals over and over again. We have 7 to 10 things we eat, and that's what we eat. And it's finding 5 or 6 other things that we could substitute and eat instead. And so I know some of you think, if I didn't eat meat, where would I get my protein? And that's a common question. And there's a wonderful chart that T. Colin Campbell put in his book, The China Study, that compares equal calorie parts of potatoes, spinach, lima beans, peas, and potatoes to equal parts of beef, pork, chicken, and whole milk. Okay, so we think these are protein foods. These are definitely not protein foods. The reality is very similar amounts of protein, but on the plant side, you're getting tons of antioxidants, no fat. And on the animal side, you're getting tons of fat and no antioxidants. Okay, so it's only in our lifetime, really since about 1950, that people thought they had to get protein from animal foods. Protein is in everything that's held together, whether it's a white potato, sweet potato, cauliflower, broccoli, they all have it.
If we look into the past, when our ancestors used to be a lot more physically active, working in the farm with cattle, or just simply doing a lot of manual work around the house, they didn't eat meat every day. They would eat it maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks, depending on the wealth of a family. So they were healthy and they lived a longer and happier lives. I think that as the crown evidence. So this is also my viewpoint. And I wanted to ask you, I'm curious to know, do you think that there was a difference between milk and meat then in the past, like 100 years ago and more so, and today? Was it less harmful to eat meat and dairy 100 years ago than it is now, or simply you don't eat dairy and that's it? and you avoid meat as much as possible. Is there a difference in the structure of the molecules of these foods?
So let's tackle dairy first. No, yes, there's all kinds of contaminants that could happen now that maybe didn't happen then. The cows were not given anything to help them produce more milk and those kinds of things. But the molecular structure of milk is not designed for humans. It's perfect for baby cows, for calves, right? As far as meat goes, same thing. It's interesting to me that a missionary friend of mine was telling me in the Philippines that they actually have to add oil to their beef because they're so lean. They're like a deer or an antelope or the things you would find in the wild, because they're not farm fed, all these grains and everything like that. So yeah, there's some differences. But the reality is, and I think when we see all the meat eating in the Bible, if you go back to that faith perspective, it was mainly feasts and festivals because nobody was affluent. You said it so well. Nobody was affluent enough to be eating animal foods every day. They relied on animals for agriculture and everything like that. So they might have eaten eggs. They might have eaten things like that could be replaced, but definitely not meat of any sort.
And they were a lot more physically engaged than people are today.
Sure. Yeah. Didn't need gyms back then.
So for example, in Serbia, we have 4 big Lents during the year. And in the past, we used to have fasting days during the week. On every Wednesdays and Fridays, people would eat only plant-based food. So no meat, no dairy, no eggs. And this is how we used to eat in the past. But now I think that very, very few people actually do it. But there are still people who do it. And that's also based on the scripture. So I think that many of our viewers can relate to this and can appreciate that how we used to be built for hundreds and thousands of years genetically, and what made us to this day was probably more natural, and that we had a healthier relationship with food throughout centuries than in the last 50 years or so, as you have put it.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what can, for example, if I want to improve my lifestyle and my health, and at the moment I'm doing everything wrong. So I'm eating Big Mac, I'm taking sodas every day. I am miserable at work. I am overworked and underslept. What should I start with? What should I begin with? Healing my life. It's going to be a long path, but what should I take as the first step?
Okay. Well, can I just tell you that the biggest obstacle you're going to deal with in making changes is this 4 to 6 inches between your ears. It's called your brain. You are the biggest barrier to making change. You think that's too complicated. I don't have time. All the things that you said to yourself over and over. I love the question that they ask in addiction programs. If I keep doing what I've always done, is it crazy to expect different results? Yes. If you feel tired and fatigued now, and you keep doing what you're doing, you're just going to feel more tired, more fatigued the longer you do it. Okay. So what are some changes that you can make right now? The number one thing I would tell you is back to drinking water. That will help with your fatigue. And just, you're not going to go from where you're at right now if you don't drink water at all to half your body weight in ounces, right? So, but start drinking 1 big glass of water and then go to 2 and then go to 3 and just see how you feel. Play the notice game with yourself. As long as you know that your biggest enemy is between your ears, just start making a journal of how you feel. Start making a journal of how you feel after you eat things. Do you ever come back from a lunch break and you've eaten a big meat sandwich and you go, you want to sleep on your desk, right?
Like only every day, only all of the time.
It isn't because your body is tired. It's because it's trying to digest the food and would like you to chill out for now so that it can handle the task, right? So try eating that salad and throw some beans on it, throw some brown rice on it, throw some veggie, lots of veggies on it, and get full, but notice the difference in how you feel. Okay. So the things that you, like I say, take into stock that your thinking is what holds you back. Okay. For me, like I said, the catalyst was my own family's health. I didn't want to go there, and I knew my kids had inherited my genes, and that if they were going to have a different outcome, it was going to depend on me doing something differently. And I committed. I just thought, I'm going to do this. And now my sons, every once in a while, someone will ask me, how do you look at them? And I go, I am addicted to feeling good. And so if I'm going to have an addiction, that's the one I want, because life is too short. And to spend, the old saying, we can live long and die short, or we can live short and die long. And yeah, it's choosing again that life that you're creating.
So that's a very strong image created now in my mind. I know that's going to stay with me now.
Okay, good.
So Lynora, is there anything that I haven't asked you and that you feel it's really important for our topic today, and that could be useful to our audience in Serbia and worldwide? Something, I don't know, like your catchword or your life motto, or any kind of message or discovery that you would like to share with us to conclude this interview?
I would just say, take the first step. Whether it's you've been a couch potato and you just need to get out and walk, or you're running on empty all the time because you only eat once a day. Okay, start thinking about how could I incorporate more meals. It's figuring out where you are and what's the next logical step, because most of us know if we're not sleeping, if we're not exercising, if we're not eating any plants, if we're not drinking any water, take the first step, because I promise you that if you do, you'll notice, you'll feel better, and then think, what if I took the next step? I wonder how that would feel. Now, I'm not that person that does things baby steps. I'm the girl that gets on the diving board and jumps in the cold pool, because I wanted it all at once. So you know yourself, and you decide baby steps, if that's what you can handle, or take the plunge and really commit. Drinking more water, eating more fruits and vegetables, and enjoying your health more than you enjoy that double chocolate or that latte every day, or whatever it is that's your vice, for want of a better word, your habit. Okay, so that would be it. Just start somewhere. You know where it is.
And if you get knocked down, if you get discouraged, get up on your feet and then try again. And if you get down again, get knocked down again, get up and try again. Yeah. As there is that phrase in the movie, it doesn't matter how hard you get hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and get up and continue doing what you're doing. Yeah, that's what
find some healthy friends. Find some people who are on this same journey and lock arms with them, because two can do what one can't, and three is even better.
That's a very good approach. Thank you so much for your valuable time, for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. I hope to meet you again on some other sequence in this series. We hope to hear from your traveling around the world experience with working with different people, and maybe someday be your host in Serbia. Who knows? Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to do that. Thank you. It's been wonderful spending time with you. Have a good day, and good luck on your next trip and your next project.